So I've been getting on with the shed for a while, and that's going quite well up there at the moment. But as it stopped raining for 5 minutes, I thought I'd try and make a start on this gazebo I'm going to build down here. It's just a couple of metal posts and some sort of roof on it, which is still a bit in the planning process. But it has stopped raining for 5 minutes, I hope. So basically it should become clearer when I get on with it, but I'm having a metal post there, metal post there. I've got a big 6 metre lump of the metal that I'm going to try and cut and curve to come round here, fix it on top of this shed here. I'm going to put some like P brackets on the shed to take that big bit that comes right around there, and then another rail across there and a rail up there. At the moment I'm just waving my finger about, you know. But first thing I've got to do, apart from clear the space where I'm going to be working, is get a level from this shed to over there, because I don't know how level this patio is. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then I've got to get up the shed and make the brackets. Got to get my bender out. So I don't know if I'm going to be strong enough to do this. I've got a bag of sand holding that one up roughly where it's going to be. Now I've got to try and get one across there with a level and mark that so I know where to cut them. But I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do it because I'm weak and these are heavy. Well, I thought I'd be able to scratch it, but I can't, because I can't press hard enough against it. I need a pencil. Right, it's the first bit. I've got a mark on there. Now I know where to cut that and give myself 40-50 mil above the shed, because there's a lip on the shed roof that I've got to get round. So I need to give myself a little bit of up and down on that. But I've got a mark on one, it's started. Right, I've got to make the brackets for the gazebo. So I've got to cut this strip of metal up into at least 8 6-inch bits and then bend them. I'm going to have to clean it up as well because it's got a bit rusty while it's been sitting outside. Right, 8 6-inch bits, give them a clean up now. That's the 8 of them. I just cleaned up the edges where I'm going to have to be welding them and just took all the sharps off the ends. So 4 of them have to have holes drilled in them so I can bolt them to the floor. Rather lovely being able to use my tools again. Overbent a couple of the first ones, but I can bosh them out. There you go.
Bob's your uncle, 8 bends, 4 of them with holes in to bolt to the floor, 4 of them without. Got to cut all the other stuff down and weld them on now. Another little job done.
Well, it's been a while since I started this gazebo project, but I've got a couple of days, so I'm going to do a bit more. So I'm using this Fisher stuff to go in the holes to put the studs in. You get these nozzles with it and that mixes it up as it goes down. Because you've got a double thing in here. Bit comes out in the middle, bit comes around the edge. Goes down here, gets mixed up by the time it gets down the bottom. And they go off rock hard. So I just need to get these nuts on. I went and had a cup of tea while these was drying, but they don't even need that long. They go off very quickly. Pretty instantly actually. Alright, do the other end. So my plan is to clamp the upright in here, get one across from the shed roof, mark it up, and that's where I'm going to cut it when it's level. All that marking up I did earlier, they've all got rusty, so I've lost all the spots on there, so I'm just going to do it as I go. Well, the law of sod's not on my side today. I was going to try and clamp these in them brackets while I measure it up, but the wall's too close, I can't get the clamps behind them. So I'm drilling and tapping them. I'm going to have to bolt it on because I need to be able to obviously take it a bit. I was just going to clamp this up and then weld it all up, but I'm going to have to drill and tap it and bolt it so I can measure it and cut it. Pain in the arse, but there you go. That's that one bolted on. It's pissed as arseholes, but at the moment that don't matter. So this is the left hand one on the right here, which I managed to bolt up. I managed to get one from the shed roof across, level it up, and I've cut this one and the right hand one. And now I'll put the I've drilled and tapped this, put the 2 brackets on for the left hand one. I'm just about to do the same to the right hand one. So it's a relatively simple job getting a top bar across them two now, marking it up, drilling and tapping it and bolting it up. It's quite difficult to do on your own because these won't stand up level on their own. If you had someone holding it and marking it, it'd be easy. But I ain't got someone here holding it while I mark it and drill it, so I've got to come up with a plan to get these stuck up somewhere level so I can mark the top bit. That's the solution to that one. I just clamped some bits of wood on there and wedged them up level. That one's got a wedge in there and then a little wedge down against the wall pushing it this way. Now all I've got to do is get one of these big heavy lumps of metal and balance it across the top there. Get that down there and drill and tap it. Well, that's up there and bolted on. I've got to take it all to bits again because I've got to clean all this off and paint it, but just need to get it up for now. So what's next is getting that one that's leaning there from the top of the shed there, resting over here. I've got to put a plate on this one so it can rest on top of that one. Right, well that's the little plate on there to rest this on when I put it up there. Managed to cut myself drilling the hole. Spun it round in my hand. Always damage yourself doing something. Never to worry. Right, let's stick it up there. So there, that one is up there. That's across to there now, on the roof. And, don't know if I can zoom in on that. It's surprisingly level. But the important thing I needed to know is the measurement now between that corner and the end of here. I'll go and do a drawing of that properly now. Now I know what these measurements are, and then I'll make that. So I'm cleaning the surface rust off of these, which has proved a bit harder than I'd hoped. So I've tried this, and this wire brush. That's useless. This is very efficient, probably the most efficient. But this is pretty efficient and quicker. So that's what we're using. It's going to take a bit longer than I thought. Right, that's all back up. It's taken me nearly all day to take this down, clean it off and paint it. But it's all back up now, ready for the next bit. Tied in with a stud anchor up there, so it shouldn't fall down. But now I've got the daunting task of dealing with that bit up there, and that's 6 metres long. I want to make the bit that comes from the shed at a 45-degree angle and then back down to there out of one bit, which is a bit daunting. So here is my great big bit of metal, which I can only just about get onto these trestles. And this is what I've got to turn it into. The 1.8 bit goes across the shed roof. Then we got the angle, and then we got approximately 1.3 to the right hand upright. And two 45-degree angles on it, 2 metres apart. So I've got to notch them out 22.5 degrees each, bend it, stick weld it together, clean it up, paint it, and get it up there. Making it, cleaning it and painting it I think I can handle. Getting it up there is going to be another trick. That's the 2 metres. That's the first 22.5. Now I've got to turn this round. Here's the next one. Now I've just got to try and cut it out. Fortunately I remembered that this was 1.8 metres and not 2 metres before I started cutting. Oh well, here goes. When I bend that round, that should be 45 degrees. I'm going to clean it all up first. One done. So I managed to mess the second one up. I just cut the gap in the two angles too wide, and where it was just going to be too wide to weld. I thought about trying to weld across it, but give up on that. So I took this one, so I cut it off basically. So I took this one in the shed and cut it on the bandsaw, so I know that's a good nice 22.5 degree angle. So I've marked this one off of it, and I'm just going to cut that off with the angle grinder and then try and manoeuvre this down onto the patio to try and weld them together. So I managed to get it welded up last night, and then I sprayed it with a bit of primer because I didn't want it all to go rusty, because I'd cleaned it all up as well. I didn't want it to go rusty again overnight. The welds need cleaning up, but it was getting a bit late and we've got kids either side of us. I didn't want to wake them up with the angle grinder whizzing away. So I will clean them up in a minute. But the job now is going to be to get this, which is fairly big and heavy, because it's still a 6 metre length of 50mm square box. So I've got to get that end down there, that sits up on top of the shed there, and then this end somewhere along its line. It's too long at the moment, I know that, but I want to wiggle it about. That's got to go up onto that corner, and I don't know if it will sit up there on its own or not, so I'm going to have to try and manhandle this up there somehow, and I don't think I can do it on my own. So I managed to get that bit up there. Went up surprisingly easy once I got it turned around. So the next bit is to do the top, and that will probably be in the next one, because this is already quite a long video.